Devil comes back and goes, son of a bitch, he didn't do it. Got one better though, let me fuck with him. I won't kill him, let me fuck with him. And God says, he's not gonna curse me. He will not do it. I will bet it. So Job puts boils on this man, covers him from, devil puts boils on Job, puts boils on himself. And that one there, and that one there. Covers him from head to toe in boils. And for any of you who've ever had boils or known somebody who has boils, fucking painful. One is fucking painful. A full body covered in it. It's gotta suck balls. And he still thanks to the Lord. And that's the end of the story. The moral of the story is if you're really good to God, he will fuck with you! He will go, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're my bitch! Ha ha! What the fuck? Why do you tell that in church? That should be a book in the fucking Satan Bible. You shouldn't have that in the Bible and a preacher going, and this is what happens. I heard that and went, oh, fuck this, I'm leaving. I'm never thanking God for a fucking thing. What the fuck? I'm good to go to get all this stuff. I pray to him, I thank him. Then he makes a bet with the devil and fucks me over. Betting with the devil? It's in the Bible. Read the story. Him and the devil are hanging out. I thought that was kind of banished a long time ago, and that's why we have hell. I guess I was wrong. Back to personal stories. Have you felt gypped yet with any of these endings? I hope so. One time, a long time ago, Mike was spending the night at my house while I was sleeping at my parents' house. We have couches kind of like that, in the corner, pressed up against each other. Yeah, it's gonna get nasty.
I hate the story.
Well, we had eaten pizza, and I don't think it was good. Now we're laying there, and it's like 4:30 in the morning. And I start puking. Just like, it wasn't like, I think I'm gonna puke. It was like, whoo! So now they're in the corner, and so there's a little hole in the corner. I find the only hole I could find and start throwing up in the corner. Mike is freaking out. Now, Mike and I have both very weak stomachs. For people who are obsessed with horror movies, and we do the haunted house thing, and lots of gore, anytime we see actual puke, actual blood, it just comes out of us. It's fun. So Mike says the phrase, go to the bathroom, that's where we have to sleep. So Mike makes a good point at this point. I'm like, fuck, I do have to sleep there. That was where my head was. So I run to the bathroom, and I stop puking. So I'm like, well, shit. I've got to clean up my puke. So I grab a towel and I try to clean it up. Now, as I told you, I've had a weak stomach, not a wet stomach. I've probably had a wet stomach at this point from puking. So I run back to the bathroom because I know I'm going to vomit. And I make it to the door. And I just let it go. And it bounces up, and it bounces on my feet. And I'm like, ah! So I get the towel, and I'm like, fuck the hole. I'm gonna clean this up now. At this point, I'm puking, and I'm trying to clean it up, and Mike is pretty much a door and a space and a door away from my parents' room, and is laughing his fucking head off. Like it's the funniest shit he's ever seen. So as I'm cleaning up my puke, my mother comes over. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I'm puking. And she goes, well, good for you. I'm trying to sleep. That was the end. See, that I had to punch fuck you. Water. guess it is, because it sure as hell tastes like there's something in it. It's probably deer piss. Think about it. You really want natural spring water? Turtle shit and all sorts of other stuff. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, this one's a good one. This is my first time getting high. Now, I am a man who at one point was a straight edge. In growing up and in middle school and high school, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't get high. I still don't smoke. I don't see a point in it. Cigarettes, that is. You light up a cigarette, and it's full of tobacco and rat poison and shit that'll kill you. And you smoke it, and you go, that burns the back of my throat. I'm going to spit that out now. I'm going to do it again. And you get nothing from it. Alcohol, on the other hand, you drink, you go, oh, that tastes like piss. And it burns the back of my throat. I'm going to do that again. But you get a buzz from it. You get drunk, and you completely lose control of your bladder at some point. And you wake up and you have this giant fucking migraine, and you go, what the fuck did I do last night? Oh, fuck! Oh, no! And I thought, well, those both don't sound tempting to me. And weed, on the other hand, I never really tried. I never really had an opportunity to. And pills, I didn't do either. Now, my first story is the first time I had morphine. I had some back problems, which I will tell you about in a minute. And my back was hurting, and I told my uncle. And the story that I told him, which I'll tell you now, just because I don't want to tell the other story in the middle of this one, I had pulled my back. So he gives me a tablet of morphine. Now, we were at my grandparents' cabin, and I am sleeping literally in a shed that my grandparents had transformed into a sleeping quarters, 2 bunk beds, and a nightstand with a lamp on it. It's fine, it's where you gotta sleep, it's whatever. With Mike and Taz. I had taken this pill of morphine, and I'm laying there, and for 2 hours, I laughed. Now, there's Taz and Mike trying to sleep in this empty shed. There was nothing funny to be laughing at, but for 2 hours, I laughed. And even though they were trying to sleep, they were entertained. And at one point, I looked over, and under the end table, I saw a koala. Now, if you have never been tripping so hard that you see shit, I'm going to explain this to you. You look and you go, and one side of your brain goes, there's a fucking koala under the table. The other side of your brain goes, that can't be there. But it is. No. So as I'm laughing, I tell Mike and Taz about this. They're like, the fuck is wrong with you? There is no koala under the table. I'm like, I know, but it's there. But it's there. And it was the greatest thing I've ever experienced. The next time I got high was the first time I tried weed. Now, this was just 2 years back. We were going to go to the Gathering of the Juggalos, which is a 4-day event in the middle of nowhere where Psychopathic Records brings all their bands and all these other bands, and they have a 4-day festival. It's like Ozfest or fucking Rock on the Range or Warped Tour, but you go there and you camp, and it's fucking 4 days. Awesome bands. And Guar's been there, Mushroom Man, a whole bunch of fucking bands, Coolio, Afro Man, just a bunch of motherfuckers. And it's just the greatest ever. It was our first year. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to the Gathering the first time. It's the epitome of, Juggalos shit. I'm getting high. Well, my 2 buddies, who are potheads themselves, had just watched one of their friends smoke weed, trip, and get naked and cry in the Wendy's bathroom.